So who is Eunie going to be? Well, this is what we know so far. She is an 18-year-old high-tier soldier from the Kivas Nation, and is the childhood friend of both Noah and Lance. She wields a weapon which is a combination of both a staff and a gun, and specialises healing her allies on the battlefield. She has a bit of a dirty mouth, but she respects and has a good relationship with both Noah and Lance, and they accept her regardless of this flaw. This makes me think that Eunie is going to be a very blunt person, where she will be truthful and say what is on her mind, regardless of how someone else might feel. And although in many circumstances this may come off as rude, I imagine she will for the most part always have good intentions. I don't think Eunie's going to be a cruel and mean person. She's simply going to tell it exactly how it is. And I imagine that this sort of language will stem from somewhere in her lineage, as we should know that high-entiers tend to be very well spoken. So she may speak like this as a form of rebelling against her parents and her high-entier blood in itself. Still though, I think she'll be a very hard worker and always be there for the other party members, especially if they need someone to lend them an ear. And I think this type of personality will lead her to have many important roles within the story of Xenoblade 3. For example, I see Eunie being captured by the Agnes Nation at some point through the game, and if some of my theories and predictions are correct, I think she will have the ether within her body forcefully drained from inside her to power something within the Agnes Nation, likely to be some of those giant mechs that we've seen plodding around. And that lack of ether will lead her to have those black wings that we saw for that one clip in the trailer. Eunie may also play an important role in convincing the Kivas Nation to stop their advance on the Agnes Nation. With the fact that the high-entier are a very noble people, she will likely try to use this influence to convince the other races of the Kivas Nation to stop supporting the attack upon the Agnes Nation. And this would likely lead us down a road where Eunie and whatever second party is involved and has led her to speak in such a manner make up and begin to accept each other once again. Whether this is her family accepting this is just who she is as a person, or other high-entier nobles looking down on her, I don't know, but I think that she will start to rebuild those bridges that she likely burnt down. And speaking of those such connections, what will her relationships be like with the other party members? Well, I think Eunie and Noah are going to have a pretty important relationship, and I'm sorry to say for all the die-hard Eunie fans, but she's probably going to be the female rejected of this game. Eunie will likely have feelings for Noah. However, I'm uncertain as to whether or not she will actually confess in this game, as she may just be happy for Noah that he found someone who he can completely put his trust into and therefore bury her own feelings. I think she'll also have a very complicated relationship with Senna. Considering that she's a shy person and that she lacks confidence in herself, Eunie at first will likely come off very harsh when critiquing Senna, and many of the party members might think that she's going a bit too far. But later in the game, I think that Eunie will put a hell of a lot of trust into Senna, and the two will actually grow very, very close as she tries to help her get over these things. And finally, I think her and Tyon will start to get very close by the end of the game as well. Although nothing will likely come of it, I do think that towards the end of the game, Eunie will start to like Tyon, and maybe even developing some slight feelings for him, as after all, they're likely both going to get shafted by their own crushers. And what about any relationships with older characters? Well, I personally think that Eunie's parents are going to be from a very privileged and prestigious high-entier family, which would have led her down the road of speaking like she does to rebel against them. But considering this is like most high-entier, there are a lot of options to consider of who might be her father and mother. However, if I got the choice of who was to be Eunie's family, then I would definitely choose Tyrea to be her mother, as I see some similarities between the two, and it would lead to some interesting implications on the story later on. In conclusion, whilst Eunie may not be the most polite and well-spoken of the party party members. This will not mean in any way that she is a bad person, and she will still likely worry about her friends and the other party members and be ready to patch them up at the first sign of danger, all the while dealing with and accepting who she is as a person. And that's who I believe Eunie will be in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. If you're interested in finding out who I think Mio is going to be in this game, then click this video here. But otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I appreciate you all watching, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.